Yo, this is your host, Easthill Huey of the Slept On Podcast, Season 2, Episode 1. And today we got a dope guest, man. This is my dog. We go way back, way back, man. This is a good friend of mine. This is my dog, Chris Pack. How you doing, fam?
Good, man. Good to see you, man.
Hey, good to see you, man. It's been a minute, Pack.
It has, man. It's good to be back.
Hey, definitely, man. So, real quick, man, let the people know what's been going on with Pack, man, since you took your hiatus and everything you got going on right now.
Well, man, when COVID hit, I kind of was sitting there thinking about my life, and, I was about to turn 40, and I kind of was just kind of examining some things, and I was kind of getting burnt out from music, and I kind of just needed a break. I wasn't going to quit forever, but I had been doing it for so long that it just kind of was just like, I want to do a moment without actually making music, because I wasn't really enjoying it as much as I was before.
You're definitely a vet, bro.
So it's like, and it's just to the point where I was like, I need to kind of take a step back. And so one of my good friends, Paul, he became a firefighter not too long ago, and he kind of put me onto it. And, he's like, hey, it's a dope career, man. And I looked into it, and it's fun.
And to kind of touch on your history, man, you've been engineering, producing, and doing your thing around here and everywhere else for such a long time. That's such a crazy pivot, bro, to go from that to engineer. You got some plaques, bro. You've been in the city for a minute doing your thing. I think it's a stance on the strength of the mind, right?
Yeah.
To be able to be doing something for so long, and that's your thing, to be able to later in your life make a pivot and be like, you know what, I'm gonna just go for this.
Yeah.
And take a risk on something, and it sounds like it's beneficial.
Yeah, it's been a fun transition. It's different than music. It gives my family that stability, because music's fun, but doing it in Seattle can be tough.
Right.
Full time, which I did for a while, but just having that stability of being part of that team, and
Right. So when did you, to kind of rewind a little bit, when did you get into music, and how did you start your journey?
I mean, I've been playing music since I was a kid. I got an Asian mom, and you either play the piano or the violin or something.
Some discipline.
Yeah, something. And so I grew up watching my sisters take piano lessons.
Okay.
And so I was 4 years old, watching them practice, and then when they were done, I would go
And do your thing.
Yeah, I try to recreate what they were doing, by ear.
Right.
And so finally, my parents were huh? And then they gave me a little bit of lessons, and then I played trumpet in middle school and all that shit. So I've always played music. I was in choir for a couple years in church, and all that stuff. So
right.
I've always been musical. It wasn't until one day I was in college down in Cali, and I'm walking down the hallway of my dorm, and I'm 18, 19 years old, and I hear some beats, and I'm like, man, what the hell is that? I poke my head, and I'm like some dude I would see, but we never really talk. I'm like, hey, man, what you doing? He's like, oh, man, I'm making a beat. I'm like, what? And so I'm like, let me see that.
Let me see what you got going on in here.
And I caught the bug, man.
From there, ever since, been a demon on the beat, bro. Would you you work for money or work for a cause?
Cause.
Why is that?
I've just how I was raised. That's how I've always been. Man. It's not about the money.
Mm-hmm.
If it was about the money, I'd be a lot richer than I am now.
Right. It's about
it'd be So it's not all money ain't good money. You know what I'm saying? So I like to make sure that I could sleep well at night when I do my business dealings.
And that's important, man, because not everybody's cut like that, bro.
Yeah.
You get a lot of guys that's just it don't matter who it hurts. It don't matter what it is. Just I need that money, cut that check, whatever it is, it is. Yeah. I'm going to go with cause as well, though. Family by blood or found family?
I think not to sit on the fence, but I think both. Obviously the family you're born into, but I mean, you can lose that or earn that anytime, but same thing with people that some of the closest people are the people that I just recently met, and I'm 40 years old.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not so much, it's about connection, it's about vibe. The moment I met you, man, we knew it was
we was on and rocking. We was on and rocking.
Yeah, so it's we had the same kind of vibe, we chill, laid back. We don't, even though we're artists, I'm not a spotlight kind of guy. Even though you do shows, you're still reserved. You know what I'm saying?
Chilling, bro.
Yeah.
Man, we had spoke a little bit about some things, man, that I know that was important to you that you wanted to get into, man, and it was kind of just putting us up on game. Some exclusive information that's gonna change the near future coming up in the sound industry and things like that, man. I was wondering if you could speak a little bit on that and hip us on game.
Yeah, man. This is a technology that's been around for quite a while. It started, the first movie that came out with it was Brave. It's called Dolby Atmos.
Okay.
And so you might have heard of the company called Dolby.
Right.
But they started putting it in movies. So what it is, it's a surround sound type of environment for audio.
Right.
And so instead of just being left and right, you can make stuff go up, behind your head. And this is with audio, even with just headphones on. And so now it's getting to the point where music's going to start being mixed like that. It's going to take a while to transition, but you know, it's where it's going. It's what the labels are doing. Like, they're already doing it. You know what I'm saying? The streaming services, they're already doing it. And what a lot of the local artists don't understand is that the streaming platforms are prioritizing Dolby Atmos mixes in the playlists that you're listening to. So if you scroll through like Apple Music or Amazon Music, you start to notice like about 50% of them are going to say Dolby Atmos under the title, right? And so eventually they're going to get more and more, because you got to start thinking about the future of, like, you know, if you're in the metaverse or you're, you know, in, you know, AR or VR world, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm in an augmented reality and there's a fake band over there, a virtual band, I want it to sound like if I turn my head, that band's still over there. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, oh, if there's somebody over here playing a little drums, I want to be able to hear the drums behind my head if I'm still looking at the band over there. So you want to feel immersive. That's why it's called immersive audio.
Bro, that sounds psycho.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's fun. It's fun, you know.
That sounds psycho, bro.
A lot of the old heads are gonna be like, oh, you know, it's different. Oh, I don't know, man. It's a fad, but I've been doing it for like 6 months, and I'm never going back to stereo. I'm just telling you. Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's fun.
It's that crazy.
It's fun.
It kind of sounds like, you know, when the generation is, you know, moving forward, like the older, you know, the people whose ears are tuned to a certain frequency, they're gonna have a hard time making that change. But the younger people and the people that can still be adjusted are gonna have to adjust to that, because that's just gonna be the natural sound. And making it so that that's the standard mix is gonna make it what, a more difficult or easier for like your local artists?
It's gonna make it more difficult for the local artists, because it's I'm a pretty smart guy when it comes to engineering, and it was pretty tough for me to learn this in a short amount of time. So, and I have a formal education in audio engineering and production. So for me to digest this in a short amount of time was very difficult. So I imagine that the bedroom, you know, engineer, if they don't get their stuff put together, they're gonna fall to the wayside.
And that's kind of how they're going to start separating the, you know, kind of serious from just anybody being able to get in there and go viral. It's like, if you don't even have this standard mix, we're not even accepting it.
And the thing is like, the young guys with just a laptop, they can still do it, because you just got to download the program, pay a couple $100, and you can do it. But there's going to be a very big skill gap, because the fidelity's changing, and the knowledge that you need to be able to work in that environment is multiplied by a lot. You know, you have to understand not just between left and right ears, you're moving stuff. And what the current population is going to hear when it starts to come out in like the technology, you're going to hear it like in sound bars in the cars and stuff. It'll start to trickle down. Right now, it's in all like the high-end luxury cars. It'll say Dolby Atmos, but like I would say like 5 or 10 years, it'll be like in Honda Civics and stuff, right? But I got to hear what the future's going to sound like. So I got to go down to Sony a couple months ago, and they took me to one of their little studios where they do like little testing of that stuff, right? And he did some stuff, and I'm sitting there, and like, it was, he played a Lauryn Hill live concert that was recorded live. But it sounded like I was in a fucking studio. It sounded like Lauryn Hill was right there, and the band was right there, and you can hear the crowd up in the rafters. You can hear the crowd back there. Oh shit, that shit was nuts. And so I was just like, dude, like
that sounds crazy,
it was
bro.
Nuts. Like, I'm still tripping, and that was like a couple months ago, and I've lost my mind.
That sounds like a real game changer, bro.
So these young guys, man, if you guys can at least experiment, whether it takes off or not, it'd be a good risk to take. I would at least try it out.
Nah, that's some solid game, man. You young cats and everybody out here still pursuing that music, man. If you're newly in it, man, you're gonna have to catch on to the wave, or you're gonna get left behind, man. When we get back, we'll have more with Chris Pack on the Slept On podcast. You stay tuned.
Another day, another dollar. Time to wake up, try to make more. I ain't perfect, I ain't judging how you make yours. Once you pick a journey, I would say just try to make sure it's really what you want. Ain't no returns on what you pray for. Another day, another dollar. Time to wake up, try to make more.
Do you have favorite producers?
Oh yeah. I could say Pharrell, Timbo, Dre. You know, all those guys. I like Swiss Beats. You know, that whole like
that we know who those guys
are.
Do you have any slept on producers like that maybe not many would know about, but they're fire?
I mean,
or that's just not on those levels, like those guys.
Let me see. Yeah, I mean, there's some local guys that I like.
Okay.
I like some recent guys are like Kodo. He's been making some filthy beats. What's his name? Bush Rainier. I like his beats.
Okay.
There's another guy. This guy, have you heard of Johnny Made It? He's this young cat. He's gotten a couple placements recently. He's pretty fire.
He's more. I'm gonna tap in for sure.
He's more like I would actually no. He's worked with what's his name? Highway. 2009 is that his name? Highway 2009.
Yeah, that's his name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's got some placement with him. He got a placement with Tinashe like a month or two ago.
Okay.
Got a placement with Murder Beats.
Okay.
He's a young cat too. Like. You know,
shout out to the young fella, man. No, for sure, that's dope, man.
Yeah.
I'm not usually super tapped in with the producers unless they sending me beats. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So shit, nah, that's dope to hear. Anybody know them cats? Tap in, man. They got fire material here, especially if Chris Pack said it, man. What university can you major in wine?
Wine.
Yes.
Oh, Stanford.
That's a good guess, but it's Cornell. And it's the only one that offers.
That's great.
It.
I didn't know you could major in wine.
Right. Neither did I until I looked this shit up.
I would have thought it'd been like Napa Valley.
Somewhere out there like that, huh? Yeah. Well, you know, any of you wine, tasters and wine connoisseurs, you can go major in wine at Cornell University. Okay, where is the shrimp's heart?
Its ass, I don't know. I wasn't ready for that.
Yeah. All right. No, a shrimp's heart is located in his head. Yeah. And there's not a lot. It got to be one or the other. Right? So you got a 50-50, I guess.
I figured it wasn't in the middle, right? It's hard for me to sit there and watch sports when, there's things that I could be doing.
There's things to be done and things that need to be. And speaking on that, let's go ahead and pivot to that, man, because you do something that's very important in the community, bro. You're a firefighter. Like, speak on that. Have you had any experiences yet, or just speak on, like, the process of becoming a firefighter?
The process of becoming a firefighter is very intense. Okay. It's very, it's a very specific type of job, and you need a specific type of personality to run in there, and get to work.
Right.
And not everybody's cut like that. So you have to see if they can do it.
Right.
And so, and they put you to the test. And it's a lot of work. It's a lot of discipline. It's a lot of early mornings and late nights, falling asleep studying, falling asleep while you're eating your dinner and shit, sore. Don't even want to get out the car because your fucking knees hurt.
Right.
It's rough, but it's rewarding though. Cause
so when you went through the process, like, speak on that day where, like, you knew, like, you got over that hump and it was like, it was all for something and not all for nothing. You put in all that pain and that work. What was it like when you crossed the threshold to, like, yo, I'm a firefighter now? Like,
it's the moment you get off probation, and any firefighter knows what I'm talking about, because probation is tough because you're the hardest working person in the station every single day. Mm-hmm. You're the first to get up. You're the last to go to sleep. If there's a coffee stain on the fucking counter, you're wiping that shit up. You know what I'm saying? Like you're the one that's responsible for doing all the shit that nobody else wants to do, right? So when you're done with probation, it's like And because when you're on probation, your job's at risk. You can get fired at any moment, right?
Right.
Technically, right? You can get fired at any moment, right?
And you're in the hot seat.
Yeah, and so it's like, don't fuck up while you're on probation, right? Get there first. Don't be the last one.
Right.
You know, when a call comes out, you better be there first, probably.
Right.
You know,
They call you guys probies, huh?
yeah, we better not be waiting for you, probably. You know, that kind of thing, right?
That's
so
dope.
when you're done with the probation part, that's when it's like, okay, I'm officially locked in. Like, I've earned my stripes. Like, everybody respects you a little bit more, because it's like you have to do physical evaluations. Like, they have to test you under stress, because that's what the job is, right?
Right.
So like, they'll work you out. Like, I gotta go carry this bundle of hose up some stairs, drag a dummy down the stairs. Then they ask me some questions, and I gotta answer those questions and get them correct. Then I gotta go run up and down again, answer some more questions, right? Damn. And yeah, so
It sound intense, right? My legs just started hurting listening to you talk about this shit, bro. Like, that shit's crazy, bro.
yeah.
But I feel like it's important to put our most important positions through those gauntlets and make sure they're properly tested, and they can make sound decisions under stressful, you know, and be calm under those type of moments, because you guys are the ones we call in when this building's set on fire.
Yeah.
When things go left and you guys got to get that person out that building, man, you're the ones that we bringing through. So I think that's pretty dope, man. Have you had any wild experiences yet? Any fires?
There was one yesterday. That's why I'm so tired.
Oh, shit. Tell me about it. What happened?
I mean, you know, it's on
As much as you could tell me.
Yeah, you can see it on the news, but there was a house. It was vacant, so luckily, but there was a natural gas explosion.
Oh, shit.
So like the fucking garage door blew across the street. The garage door was in the lawn across the street. The pressure wave from the explosion was like, it blew out the windows across the street too, like the house across the
That's
street. Like,
crazy.
and so like, yeah, it was nuts.
You know, a lot of people don't ever really even get to experience, man, and really say like, yo, I did this, bro. I'm not only an engineer or a producer or something, like I'm a firefighter as well, bro.
I
Like,
never would have thought, man.
I never look. You're the only firefighter friend I have that I know that I can say, yo, my partner's a firefighter. Like, bro, that shit's crazy, man, and it's impressive, bro.
Yeah,
so
thanks, man. Appreciate
no,
it.
I definitely commend you on that, man. And like I said, even in later stages in life, to say, yo, I'm gonna pivot from this and I'm gonna go at this. I heard a dope story. There was this dude, I want to say Chicago or something like that, Atlanta, but he was like 51. He's been a mechanic for like 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
And in his earlier years, he wanted to become a doctor. But, you know, becoming a mechanic was more realistic and more but when he was 51 years old, decided to take a risk to go become a doctor, and now the nigga's a doctor and working in the hospital and shit somewhere. And it's like, it just kind of puts that battery in your back when guys like me were in our 30s and shit, thinking like we're getting old and shit is passing us by and shit. And there's people out here in their later years still chasing different opportunities.
Man, it's never too late.
Yeah, so it puts a battery in somebody like my back. Like, nigga, I ain't got shit to complain about, bro. Bro's 40 and just became a fucking fireman, bro. What do I have to complain about, for real? Like, go try something else. Go pursue something else. This didn't work out. I'm going to go do this. You know what I'm saying? So, nah.
'Cause you can always come back, man.
For real.
Whatever it is you're doing, man. Like, take a risk, man.
Yeah.
You know, you're young.
Nah.
You know, go get it, you know?
Go get it, bro. And you're a testament to that, fam. And you've always been kind of like that guru type of guy, you know, in our relationship, where I can come to you like, hey, Pac, what you feel about this? Or, hey, Pac, tell me what this mean. Or, hey, Pac, how do I make this do this? Yeah. You've always been knowledgeable in that way, bro. So just you obtaining more knowledge helps me in a sense, because I can obtain this type of knowledge from you and get a better insight on things that are happening like that, bro.
Yeah.
So
Appreciate it.
How do you ground yourself, and what are you doing for your mental health?
I do a lot, man. I actually focus on it pretty heavily.
Yeah.
One of the main things that I just started seeing a therapist. Okay. And it's worked wonders for me. You know, on top of that, like I just left her before coming here. You know what I'm saying? And it's great. One of the best things I've done in my adult life.
That's
you know,
dope.
so if you're fortunate enough where you can do that, man, go get one. It's nice, and get it before you need it. You know, because like I can't imagine trying to find, because it's hard to find one. So I imagine trying to find one when you actually need one.
Yeah,
like it's just, you know, you're already down in the dumps. How are you gonna put the energy forth to try to find one? Because it's tough, you know.
And finding a good one,
Yeah,
not one that's just taking the bread and telling you shit. Like somebody who's really invested in what's going on with you.
But other than that, man, it's just you know, it's that balance that we all struggle with, especially those go-getters. You know, like it's you know, recognizing that like, you know, you can always be your own worst enemy.
Right.
You know, so it's having that, at least for me, having that routine, that for me, I do breath work. Right. I stretch every morning and night. So I always start my day with a breath work and a stretch routine. I go work out, you know, and then
you've always been the fit and shit like that.
You know, because I think it's very important.
No,
you know,
fact.
It's like your body is the engine that drives your brain. So it's like if you're, you know, if you have an intellectual type of job, which a lot of work today is, you know, why not prime your body to be at the highest RPMs that it can be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So the functioning level.
Because like, I spend a lot of time at the gym, but when I'm working, I'm on fire. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm hitting on all cylinders.
Right.
You know, so it's like I may spend less time working, but I'm a lot more efficient.
A lot more efficient. A lot like LeBron James, huh?
Oh no, dang.
I'll leave it alone. I won't bring it up. But it just seems like the older bro get more efficient, and he's taking less shots and he's doing less. But it's
body position. It's like you know, you don't got to just leap out the building just to get the points. You know what I'm saying? Like I just got to get to that spot right there, and I got to make that guy think I'm going over there. So and then I can just go like that.
Right.
I don't gotta jump over. You know
right.
That shit hurts.
I can just make it easier on myself. Hey, Pac, bro, I appreciate you coming down.
Of course, man.
I know you got to get back up and go, you know, fight fires and get all of that shit situated, man. We need you out there saving lives, brother. So I ain't going to hold you too long, man. It was a pleasure to have you down, man. Bro. It's always a pleasure. You know what I'm saying? For us to catch up. It's been a minute, man. You're admired, bro. You're appreciated.
Likewise,
you're honored. You're one of the most slept on talents that we've ever had out here, bro. And again, I just appreciate you sliding down.
I appreciate you, man. It was always good catching up.
For sure, man. Hey, yo, this is your host, Easthill Huey of the Slept On Podcast. And when we get back, we'll be here with our next guest. You stay tuned.
Another day, another dollar. Time to wake up, try to make more. I ain't perfect, I ain't judging how you make yours. Once you pick a journey, I would say just try to make sure it's really what you want. Ain't no returns on what you pray for. Another day, another dollar. Time to wake up, try to make more. I ain't perfect, I ain't judging.
And I kind of keep my kids away from that VR shit, right?
Yeah.
For two reasons. One is it's kind of psycho to me. But the second reason is there was this fucking theory that that we could go into like global warming, right? Say that for hypothetically we go into global warming and it gets too hot for us to live here, right? People will start uploading their consciousness to the internet.
Yeah.
And that would be a ploy to get us ready for that process by living in an RV world and being adaptive to that type of shit. And people get lost in there. But you don't realize that when you're rewiring your mind to see things in a different way that we don't normally see. So yeah, it's some other shit, but that's why I kind of stay away from that shit.
Yeah, I feel you.